of survival. Ernst Albright, a former prisoner of war, comes home from the Vietnam War a changed and volatile man. When he loses yet another job, he makes an impulsive decision. He will move his family north to Alaska, where they will live off the grid in America's last true frontier. 13-year-old Lenny, a girl coming of age in a tumultuous time, caught in the riptide of her parents' passionate, stormy relationship, dares to hope that a new land will lead to a better future for her family. She is desperate for a place to belong. Her mother Cora will do anything and go anywhere for the man she loves, even if it means following him into the unknown. At first, Alaska seems to be the answer to their prayers. In a wild, remote corner of the state, they find a fiercely independent community of strong men and even stronger women. The long sunlit days and the generosity of the locals make up for the Albrights' lack of preparation and dwindling resources. But as winter approaches and darkness descends on Alaska, Ernst's fragile mental state deteriorates and the family begins to fracture. Soon the perils outside pale in comparison to threats from within. In their small cabin, covered in snow, blanketed in 18 hours of night, Lenny and her mother learn the terrible truth. They are on their own in the wild. There is no one to save them but themselves. So, yeah, this book's also a chonker. This is 440 pages, so I gave this one 4.5 stars. I didn't love it as much as, I thought this was going to be a 5 stars because I love Chris and Hannah, so I didn't love it as much as I thought I would, but it was still brilliant, and as you can see, I tapped a lot. So also this book is so floppy, I love it. This is actually a US edition that I got from eBay because I prefer the US edition to the UK edition. So it's massive in comparison. Like, this is a UK paperback. So, yeah. But, so, I really enjoyed the main character Lenny in this. I grew up with, in definitely not like the same as this, but it was very much a walking on eggshells situation, if you know what I mean. So I really empathised with Lenny and connected to her, especially because she used reading to escape the situation she was in. What I also liked the found family aspect as well. I love Marge, and I really loved everyone that they met there. I loved the relationship between Lenny and Matthew, and just how it blossoms, and watching Cora and Lenny kind of flourish and come into themselves. What I didn't like so much about this, and this is coming from someone who not only witnessed my mother in an abusive relationship, but I have friends and other family members who have been in an abusive relationship. I know it's not as simple as just leaving. What bothered me about this is the fact that Cora's only reason for not leaving, despite being given multiple chances, was the fact that she loved Ernst too much. And I was just like, and Lenny was losing out on things, and Cora would literally kill her into not doing things, because she'd be like, oh, your dad's gonna hit me if you do that. And it's just you don't put that on a child's shoulders, you don't put that on your kid's shoulders because you don't want to leave. If she'd have been there was like worry was that she couldn't live without him. That was it wasn't until like later in the book that she was like, oh actually, like, he could track us down. If that was the main thing, if she was like, look, the only reason I'm not leaving is because I genuinely fear for my life, you know, like, if we leave, 100%, yeah, like, I can understand it. But the fact that she was just like, oh, you know, constantly like, oh, I just love him too much, I can't leave. And I'm like, you're literally putting your kid in this situation because you don't want to leave. Like, you don't want to leave. Not because you can't, because you don't want to. That bothered me. And I just think, like, we were supposed to think Cora was a fantastic mother when actually she really wasn't. I didn't like her at all. Yeah, there's other stuff as well, but it would be a spoiler if I, you know, said about it. But apart from that, it was a 4.5, and yes, I did cry. Because it's Kristen Hanna, so, you know, you can't read a Kristen Hanna book without crying. So, yeah, I gave that one 4.5 stars. The second physical book I read, and this was even the frogs disappointed. This was a massive disappointment for me, like massive. I was 100% convinced this was going to be a 5-star, to the point where I've had this on my shelf since August of 2021 when it came out, because I was convinced that I was going to absolutely love this and I wanted to save it. Well, also it might be controversial because a load of people love this book. Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. First of all, I hate this cover. I prefer the US one, as is usually the case, honestly. This was just so disappointing. Take a drink every time I say disappointing. Or don't. I really don't want you incoherent for the rest of this video. I'll read you the back. 10 years of marriage, 10 years of secrets, an anniversary they'll never forget. Adam and Amelia are spending the weekend in the Scottish Highlands. The remote location is perfect for what they have planned. But when their romantic trip takes a dark turn, they both start to wonder, can they trust the one they're with? Because every couple tells little white lies, only for Adam and Amelia, the truth is far more dangerous. So, I really liked the setting of this. Okay, like, the setting was really good. Alice Feeney's books are always really atmospheric, so I appreciated that. I was bored for most of this, I'm going to be honest. I was bored. Sorry if you can hear my dog's collar. My dog and my cat are wandering around just like loving life, so sorry if you hear them. So, I mean, some of the twists were good, but overall I just thought it was like mediocre. I think I gave it 2.5 stars, like it was just mediocre. Some things were really predictable. And I don't know, I just hated all of the characters, like I hated them, all of them. And like, I like a thriller where, I don't mind a thriller where like the characters are supposed to be unlikable and it's like fun, but this was not fun. Yeah, I mean, it seems with Alice Feeney, like I say this, but I've read 3 of her books so far, and only one of them I gave 5 stars, and it's like one of my favourite thrillers. The other one I gave 3.5, and this one's 2.5, so I guess like with Alice Feeney we're all over the place, but yeah, I mean, I guess read it if you're interested, but it was a massive disappointment to me, I'm gonna be honest. Now, really good, so that made up for it. But so one of those like really, really good books, like you need to read it. Although look up to everyone is. This is a 600 pager as well, so was The Reformatory by Jew. This is like a historical horror novel. I'm gonna tap on my Kindle. I've redecorated my Kindle, by the way. This is like a historical horror novel set in Jim Crow South in Florida. So basically what happens is it follows two their children. One's 12, one's 17, I think, so technically, still a child. Their brother and sister, their dad has recently fled to Chicago because he basically tried to stand up for black people and their rights, and the white people didn't like that, so he's like wanted, and so he ran away. And their mother died, so it's just Gloria and oh god, what was the boy called? Robert. It's just Gloria and Robert. So Gloria's taking care of Robert, and one day they're like walking down the street, and this white boy starts making advances on Gloria, just being a general just snob, and Robert kicks him because, like, of course, and because he's black and he kicked a white boy, he gets sent to this reformatory school, a school. And the horror aspect of this is that he can see what they call haints, which are like ghosts. And there's like, this reformatory is like obviously a hotspot because basically they're just killed and stuff there. Like it's just basically a pit of horror. But while he's there, like the guy who like runs the reformatory he likes catching haints, but he can't see them himself, so he tries to get Robert to do it. And meanwhile, Gloria is trying to get her brother out of this reformatory. When I tell you, like, the ghosts were the least horrifying thing about this book, okay? They were scary as well. They were scary. Like, some scenes where I was like, the most horrifying thing is the fact that, like, not just the racism, but the fact that this actually fucking happened. Do you know what I mean? And this still is happening. Baffles me. The fact that this 12-year-old boy is sent to this school and basically just like, well, abused. Like, they're all abused, the kids there, but the black kids get it worse because racism. Like, this is an extremely graphic book, okay? Like, it doesn't hold any bars, and honestly, like, I think that we shouldn't look away from these things, okay? Because they happened, and people had to live through this. And I do think it's a fantastic book, really well written. It's long, but honestly, like, I wasn't bored at any point. It took me a while to read because I just wanted to digest everything, and also, like, it's just very difficult to read, so but I 100% recommend it. The last, like, 70-80%, honestly, like, my heart was in my throat. So there's that aspect of it as well, but it's just, yeah, white people. Next, I read another disappointment. I thought I was going to really love this book, this series in general. And that is the Bright Falls series, but the first book is review and everything. Like, I gave it 3 stars because overall, like, it was fun. Like, but I had so many problems with this. So this is a sapphic romance between Delila and Claire. So Delila is a photographer, and her stepsister don't get on very well. So Delila lives in New York and this town in Bright Falls. I can't remember where it is, but it's far away anyway. And basically, Delila like never visits, but her stepsister Astrid is like, "Can you photograph my wedding?" And they're offering to pay her like a lot of money for it. So she's like, she needs the money, so she goes back. And then so it's dual POV. So one night, like, Claire's out with Delila's stepsister Astrid and their friend Iris, and they're like, "Oh, you need to like get back on the dating train, even if you just have a one-night stand, like get someone's number from here." Well, I say they, Iris is like that. So Iris walks up to this woman's the bar and starts like hitting on her. It's Delila. And like, yeah, basically it goes from there. I wouldn't say as enemies to lovers as such, but yeah, there's definitely tension. I really liked the chemistry between them. But like, what bothered me about this book is so much of it, like, this is supposed to be a sapphic book, so much of it was spent on a heterosexual wedding. That like, sorry, I keep like smacking my glasses. Like, I didn't like any of these characters. I don't like any of them. Delila, like, a lot of her problems, honestly, like, she's one of those people that like, "Oh, woe is me, the world hates me," you know, like, doesn't kind of take any accountability for the fact that her problems are probably, you know, could have been solved earlier. Claire is just constantly like belittling her ex and like checking in on him, and that's it. Yeah, Claire's a single mum, I forgot to, so it's a single parent as well. And like, she's just constantly just turning up at his flat, like when he's got their daughter, and like checking that she's in bed, and I'm just like, oh, like, do you know what I mean? Iris is like, we're supposed to like Iris, but she is basically an adult bully. And Astrid was probably the only character I liked in this, but I couldn't stand the fact that she let her fiance talk to her friends like shite and didn't say anything. And also the fact that all of them were like watching her fiance, like Astrid's fiance, treat Astrid like crap and were not saying anything. Like, they were just scheming behind her back to like break up the wedding. I'm sorry, but if somebody said that to my friend, well, in fact it's happened, I would go for them. Not fit, I don't do fist fights, okay, but I do verbal, you know, I'm Italian, okay, so like that hot blood, once it gets going, you know, I wouldn't. So anyway, I gave that one 3 stars. I don't think I explained the plot very well, but it was, honestly, there wasn't that much plot, in my opinion. Then I read the next book, ASD Parker. ASD Parker Doesn't Fail. This one I actually really enjoyed and gave 4 stars. So this one follows Astrid. And if you hadn't guessed, they ended up breaking up the wedding because she's now having a romance with someone else in this book. But basically, she's a interior designer and she gets asked to be on this TV show and they're renovating this famous inn in town. So anyway, she's like getting coffee like the morning of the filming of the show, and somebody bumps into her coffee goes down her dress, and she's so stressed out that she like yells at them, and they're like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Anyway, it turns out the person that she yelled at and literally like made cry in the street is Jordan, who is the owner of the inn's granddaughter. And so they're gonna have to work together. So it's like enemies to lovers almost. I really enjoyed this. I don't know, I just felt like it had a bit more plot. Like I really enjoyed the like interior design aspects and the show. Like I love books set on TV shows. And that kind of thing. But yeah, again, it just wasn't a 5 stars. It was good, but I wouldn't say it's like mind blowing. And I don't know, some of this stuff could have just like, it's just miscommunication. And although like, so at the beginning of the book, Jordan kind of tweaks Astrid's design because she doesn't like Astrid's design for the inn. And so Jordan at the beginning is like, look, I don't want any credit for this because I don't want the attention, so you go for it and take credit for it so you can, you know. So, but then the whole conflict is that Astrid takes credit for the design, and I'm just like, but that's what you agreed, so like, what are you doing? There's also the fact that all of a sudden Astrid like wants to be a baker, but that's not mentioned at all in the first book, and we see her baking twice in this book, and we're supposed to believe that like that's like a big dream of hers. Seems that's a theme in Ashley Herring Blake's books though, because in the next one, oh dear, Iris Kelly doesn't date. I gave this one 1.5 stars. I actually DNF'd it at one point, but then I was like, do you know what, I'm just going to slog through it. Oh god, I had so many problems with this one. So this one follows Iris and Stevie. Stevie's an actress. Iris is suddenly, lo and behold, a romance writer. I don't know when this happened, but suddenly she's a romance writer, okay? And so she's looking for like inspiration because she's like struggling to write her next book. So she decides she's going to audition for a play. Cool. Good for her. Love that for her. So she goes and auditions for this play. Oh, that's it, sorry. So Stevie goes, like, she's got like really bad anxiety, so she goes to a bar with her friend and basically is looking for a hookup and meets Iris, and long story short, it doesn't go well because Stevie gets really anxious and literally vomits on Iris. Anyway, they're like, oh, it's fine, because like we're never gonna have to see each other again. Guess who's like in the play and who's like owns a theatre? Stevie. So anyway, Stevie has already told her friend that like the hookup went really well, and they're like they're gonna see each other now and all of that, thinking again her friends are never gonna meet Iris, and she can just like in a few weeks be like, oh yeah, like we broke up. Well, Iris obviously walks into auditions and Stevie's like, oh shit, and panics, and so she asks Iris to fake date her, and Iris agrees because she thinks it will give her inspiration for her romance novel. Yeah, it's very flimsy, I know, and then over the course of it becomes it's not so fake anymore, and they start getting really real feelings for each other. For most of this book, Stevie wanted her ex, which when I'm reading a romance novel, unless it's a second chance romance between the main character and her ex, I really don't want you to be pining after your personality, like, trait that Stevie had with her anxiety, and I understand I have anxiety. It does control a lot of your life, but I also like to think my anxiety is not my personality. Like, there was nothing to her character. Also, like, the conflict, the third act breakup, the wrong person apologised, the wrong person. Like, we were kind of made to feel sorry for the wrong person, okay? Stevie fucked up, okay? Not Iris, Stevie fucked up, okay? I don't understand why we were then made to feel like Iris was the issue. Like, I posted an entire, like, rant review about this on my Goodreads. If you, like, want to check it out, add me on Goodreads as well, because, you know, friends, you know, and all that. Yeah. So that was that. I gave it 1.5 stars. I just, like, okay. And then finally, I read The Fury by Alex Michaelides, and I gave this one 3.5 stars. I really like Alex Michaelides. I will say, though, my least favourite one of his is The Silent Patient, which is everybody's favourite, but I didn't like that one as much. I still liked it, but not as much as The Maidens and this one. So this is set on a Greek island, and our main character is invited to go basically for like a weekend away with a famous actress. She's a retired famous actress, and there's just lots of drama, and you know, like, so basically it literally says on the cover there were 7 of us on the island, one of us was a murderer. So it's kind of like a whodunit. There's 7 different people on the island, and yeah, there's just lots of drama. It's like almost rich people drama, and it was entertaining. It wasn't anything fantastic, but I enjoyed it. Like, I thought that the twist was good. I really enjoyed the way it was written. It was written almost like a Greek tragedy, and I really like that Alex Michaelides incorporates a lot of like, not almost like Greek mythology into his books. I will say though, okay, and this is not warned about at all at the beginning of the book or like in the synopsis, there is a massive spoiler at the end of this for The Silent Patient. So if you have not read The Silent Patient, do not read this, because it's quite a big spoiler. But yeah, and I really also like that you see characters from his other thrillers like appear in you know, in the subsequent books. So yeah, I gave it 3.5 stars. It was I really enjoyed it. Yeah, so that is the 7 books I read in February. I apologise if this video has been a hot mess. When I don't like a book, I just find it very difficult to, 1, tell you the plot, and 2, like, say anything good about it. So yeah, actually, before I go, let me show you what I'm currently reading. So there's no picture for this, because this is actually an arc. It's already out now, but this is an arc. I'm reading The Catch by Amy Lee. So this is the 3rd book in the Influencer series. So I have read the other 2, which you'll see in my March wrap up. This is a romance. It's giving It Happened One Summer vibes, you know, like she's not rich, but she's kind of entitled. If you goes to this like small town and meets a fisherman, you know, enemies to lovers. It's good. It's taking me sad and heartbreaking, so yay. But yeah, again, you'll hear more about that in my March wrap-up. Can you hear my dog clickety-clacking and ding-a-linging? She's decided she wants to go to bed now. My husband's in bed. We live in a flat, so the bedroom's next door, and she's just like taking herself off to bed, so cool. Yeah, so that's what I'm currently reading. So, yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this very, very chaotic and just mediocre video. But I wanted to post something because I haven't posted in a while, and yeah. I'll see you guys soon. I am filming a couple of videos, so you will see me looking like this again in the next one, so yeah. I will see you in the next video, and again, like, I hope you enjoyed this, and comment down below what your favourite book of February was. Mine was The Reformatory. I'm so sorry, you can hear my dog like clicking around.